When you think of 50 Cent, the first thing that comes to mind is confidence, swagger, power. He's the kind of guy who walks into a room and owns it before he even says a word. But recently, things got unexpectedly real when 50 found himself face to face with someone from Kick Game, a situation that could have gone completely left, considering the tension that had been brewing between them. For most people, running into someone you've had beef with is an uncomfortable experience. For 50, it was a moment that had everybody talking. His reaction? Priceless. It all started with a few jabs, subtle shots, and interviews where things got a little too spicy. The beef wasn't exactly World War-level drama, but it was enough to cause tension in the culture. 50 Cent had thrown some words in Kick Game's direction, whether it was about how they ran their business, how they approached street culture, or the way they were positioning themselves in the hip-hop world. 50 let it be known that he wasn't feeling the vibe. And when 50 Cent has a problem with you, he doesn't whisper it. He broadcasts it. So fast forward to the moment that had everyone's attention. 50 Cent walking into a Kick Game setup. Cameras rolling. Energy tight. Everyone holding their breath like, yo, is something about to pop off? You could feel the tension shift in the room. Some people were thinking, is this about to be the next viral moment? Others were just shocked he even showed up. But that's 50 Cent for you. He doesn't run from anything. He walks into the fire with a grin on his face and a punchline ready to go. When asked about it afterward, 50's response had the perfect blend of comedy, realness, and that unapologetic energy he's known for. He said, I ain't ducking nobody. If I got a problem with you, you'll know. And if I see you, we talk like men. Or not. Either way, I'm good. That was it. Straight from the source. No extra drama, no fake smiles, just the raw truth. That's what separates 50 from everybody else. He's not about pretending. He's not about faking peace for the cameras. He moves how he moves, and he owns it. People expected a clash, maybe even a heated argument. But what they got was something better. They got to see what real power looks like when it walks into a room without flinching. 50 wasn't there to perform. He wasn't there to start a scene. He was just being 50. Calm, collected, but still very aware of who was in the room and what the history was. And that's the part most people don't get. See, 50 Cent has been through it all. Industry snakes, street politics, corporate boardrooms, betrayal, fame, and everything in between. He doesn't move off emotion anymore. He moves off strategy. Running into Kick Game didn't rattle him because he's already played the biggest games and won. So this was light work. The fascinating thing is how the room responded. You could tell some people were nervous. They didn't know if 50 was going to turn the energy all the way up or keep it chill. But when he cracked a joke, gave a slick comment, and kept it moving, it was like the whole vibe shifted. Tension turned into laughter. Awkwardness turned into content. And just like that, 50 controlled the narrative without lifting a finger. That's the brilliance of Curtis Jackson. He doesn't have to go loud to make noise. He doesn't have to yell to shake a room. Just his presence, his confidence, and his history do all the talking. So when he said, I don't gotta act tough, I am tough, it wasn't bravado. It was fact. Because everyone in that room, whether they admitted it or not, felt it. Now, the deeper conversation here isn't just about beef. It's about maturity, growth, understanding when to fight and when to finesse. 50 Cent might still have that street energy, but he's also a businessman, a strategist. And he knows that sometimes the best move is to show people you're unbothered, that their words, their tension, their energy, none of it can shake you. The internet, of course, went wild. Clips of the moment spread everywhere. Fans broke down every second of the footage, analyzing 50's body language, his facial expressions, even the pauses in his speech. Some people called it a power move. Others called it chess. But everybody agreed, 50 didn't just walk into the room. He dominated it without saying much at all. And the beauty of it is that he left people guessing. Was the beef squashed? Was there a behind-the-scenes talk? Did Kick Game fold under pressure? Or was it all just grown men being grown men? 50 didn't clarify. He didn't explain. He just gave the world enough to talk about, and then moved on to the next moment like it was just another Tuesday. That's what makes him different. While other artists chase viral moments, 50 creates them by just being himself. He doesn't need drama to trend. He is the trend. And whether you love him or hate him, you can't deny that when he moves, the culture watches. But let's be real. This wasn't just about a walk-in and a few cool quotes. It was about setting the tone. 50 reminded everybody that respect doesn't come from shouting the loudest. It comes from standing your ground, being consistent, and knowing exactly who you are. That's why even his enemies watch him with respect, because he's fearless. And in a world where everybody's pretending, that kind of authenticity is rare. So where does it go from here? Will there be a deeper collaboration? Will 50 and Kick Game turn the page and do business? Or was this just a one-off moment that reminded everyone who the boss really is? Only time will tell. But if there's one thing we can be sure of, it's that 50 Cent never moves without purpose. Every move is calculated. Every step is part of a bigger picture. And even when it seems like he's just popping in somewhere unexpected, he's always working an angle. That's why he's still on top after all these years. Because he understands the game, and he plays it better than most. At the end of the day, running into someone you've had tension with is a test of character. Most people either fold, fake peace, or spark unnecessary chaos. 50 didn't do any of that. He showed up, stood tall, and reminded everyone exactly why he's still one of the most respected names in the industry. And maybe that's the real lesson here. It's not about the beef. It's about the way you handle it. It's about keeping your cool when the pressure's on. It's about showing the world that nothing and no one can knock you off your game. 50 Cent isn't just surviving, he's still setting the rules. And as long as he's in the picture, everybody else is just trying to catch up.